Hello, today we're going to do lesson 4 or 5, displaying data mini lesson. I'm going to suspect that most of this is review, but we're just going to review how you would create several different types of graphs in order to display data. The first type of graph we're going to talk about is a bar graph. And a bar graph is best used to display data that can be grouped into categories. So I think of, favorite color, or if it's a company, sales by month, something along those lines where you're categorizing and showing a quantity within there. A frequency table is a benefit here to most of these, to a lot of these tables. So if the data is given in a form of a list or is disorganized, first organize it using a frequency table which shows how often each number occurs. So first, in example 1, use the following data to make a frequency table and bar graph. So we have student responses for favorite animal. So we see them listed kind of unorganized. We have horse, dog, cat, horse, cat, tiger, elephant, dog. So when we make our frequency table, I'm just going to go ahead and put the type of animal on one side. It's just basically a T-chart. And then the frequency, or you could say number of students, on the other. So we have a couple different responses here. We have horse, dog, cat, tiger, and elephant. Okay, so for frequency, we'll just simply count. So for horse, we have 1, 2, dog 1, 2, 3, cat 1, 2, tiger 1, elephant 1. And so then from there, we can easily make a bar graph. Now, one of the important things with the bar graph, of course, is including correct labels and being careful with that. So I'm going to start just by doing the 2 axes, and then you're going to try to fit them in as best you can. So down at the bottom, I might go a little bit diagonal here because I know I need to fit in 5 different names. So we have horse, dog, cat, tiger, and elephant. And then the title of these, of course, would be the animals. Okay, and then on the other side, I can see that I go anywhere from 1 to 3. So when I space this out, I want it to be even spaces. I don't want to create a misleading graph, so I want it to be spaced evenly. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the frequency here. Now, in a bar graph, your bars will not touch. So we'll go ahead and create, let's see if this works here. So for horse, we need it to be, whoops, I don't want an arrow. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I'm just going to draw it. So for horse, we're going to go up to 2. Dog, we're going up to 3. The bars don't touch, they're their own category. Cat will be 2 as well. And then tiger and elephant were both 1. And then the only thing at this point our bar graph is missing is a title. And for title, we could just simply say favorite animals. Okay, next we are going to look at histograms. Histograms are very similar. However, histograms are a special type of bar graph that will essentially group the data into intervals. Now, the reason for this is typically because we have numbers, numerical values, that are rather unorganized. And so to get them in a slightly more organized fashion, we're again going to make a frequency table, and then we'll create the histogram from there. So something to note, in a histogram, your bars will touch, so we'll make note of that. Because really you'll create a frequency in which they don't overlap, but there's no gap in the middle. So let's look at the values we have down below. An example 2. It says the following are number of costs of various snacks at the pool snack bar. So you'll notice it looks like our lowest value is 50 cents, and it goes all the way up to $4.50. So when I make my frequency table, I'm going to be rather thoughtful in how I want to do this. So I'm going to do an interval of $1, but I'm going to go, we'll list it here. So we'll go ahead and say the price of the item, and then the frequency of those prices. Excuse me. So we'll go from 0 to 99 cents. So that then we start the next one at $1 and go to $1.99, and that's in an interval of $1. 2 to $2.99, 3 to $3.99, and finally 4 to $4.99. And then we'll go ahead and count the frequency. So from 0 to 99 cents, we have 1, 2, 3, and that's it. From $1 to $1.99, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what? I'm just seeing that we actually have to add an additional interval because I missed the $5 value. So that'll be 5 to $5.99 down here. So next we have 2 to $2.99, and there's only going to be 1 there. 3 to $3.99, we actually have 0. 4 to $4.99, we also have 1, and 5 to $5.99, we also have 1. So we have 6 categories. Just like the previous bar graph, we're going to start with just essentially what would be quadrant 1. And we're going to start with our prices down below. Now you want these to be rather close together, and so again we're going to go slightly diagonal here. So 0 to 99 cents, 1 to $1.99, 2 to $2.99, 3 to $3.99, 4 to $4.99, and 5 to $5.99. And that, of course, was the prices. And then up here we have the frequency, and we can see we go up to 5, so I'm going to leave enough space for that, but I'm going to go evenly by ones and space them as even as I can apart. Okay, and now the bars will touch because we want to show that there's no gap. The cost is either 99 cents or $1. There's nothing in the middle of those two. And so for 0 to 99 cents, we have to go up to 3. And then for 1 to $1.99, we go all the way up to 5. And again, the bars are touching. And as neat as you can. I'm obviously working rather quickly here, but then for 2 to $2.99, we are only at 1. Then you're actually going to leave a complete gap at 3 to 399. Some people think you have to draw a line there. There's nothing there, so we'll leave it blank. But then from 4 to 499, we're going to go up to 1. Notice that you try to make the widths of the bars the same as well to not create any misleading aspect. And again, 5 to 599 is 1. And then lastly, we would want to title our graph. And in this case, we could just say pool snack bar prices. And that's a histogram. Okay, next, we're going to look at a line graph. And a line graph is specifically going to be used when displaying trends or data over time. That's the biggest key there, is when something's changing over time. It also allows you to make estimates between data points if there's something that you do not know. So we're going to create a line graph to display the following data. It says the table shows Jack's salary from working at Target. Use the line graph to estimate Jack's salary in 2018. So we don't have that piece of information, but we can try to estimate approximately what it would have been based on the information that we do have. What's interesting about a line graph is even though it's called a line graph, we actually start with points. So that's exactly how we're going to start right now. So I'm going to draw our first quadrant, and we're going to list the years down here at the bottom. So we have 2013, 2015, and you can see we're going up by odds, so that works out. If we weren't, we would want to pick an even amount to go up by. Okay, and then of course we'll label that years. Okay, next we have to pick an interval to go up by. We notice that we go from 12,000 to 36,000. We want to go up by an even amount. I would say 5,000s might make sense here so that you're not too close together, but you're also not too far apart. So we'll try to do that. So I'm actually going to just put 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And we're going to have 1 point just slightly above that. And then when I label this, and I'm sorry it's a little bit cramped, we're going to put salary, but then we're going to put in thousands of dollars. So we're showing we didn't have to list all those zeros, but they are in thousands. Okay, so as I said, we're going to do dots. So for 2013, he was at 12,000. So try to get that as close to 12,000 as you can. In 2015, 21,000, which is going to be just slightly above the 20,000. 2017 up to 24. 2019 up to 30. And it looks like he's scheduled to make 36,000 in 2021, which would be up here. So now we're going to actually connect them in order. This is different from a scatter plot, which we'll see later, where you create a trend line. Instead, we're just actually showing the exact line in between there, even though we don't know exactly what happened in between. So now, because 2013 was here, 15 here, 17 here, 19 here, 21 there, we know that 2018 would be directly in the middle of 2017 and 19, and that's where we're asked to estimate his value. So using the graph to do this, we can, try to draw as straight of a line as we can over, and it looks like it's right in the middle of 25 and 30 about. So about 27, so in 2018, we can predict that he made approximately 27,500. Now this is just an estimate, which is why I use the approximation symbol. And just make note of the fact that I would accept a range of answers as being accurate. Any teacher would in this instance, as long as it's fairly close to the intended value, approximate value. This is, after all, just an estimate of what he made. We don't know for sure. All right, that's it. Thank you.